world moves fast. Your workday? Even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
How old were you when you realized you were the son of a president?
I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before.
FX's Love Story. John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
I didn't think I could love someone like this until you.
From executive producer Ryan Murphy.
It's not a question of if I want to spend the rest of my life with you. It's if I'm cut out to be Mrs. JFK Jr.
FX's Love Story. John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. Watch now on FX, Hulu, and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
This is Fish Jelly.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. Maybe delirious. I just arrived home, half an hour ago after 14 hours of travel. So here you go.
I'm sure everyone's appreciative.
Oh, yeah. Especially you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got into your little Berlin treaties that I brought you.
Treaties, as in edibles.
Not marijuana, like edible treats, consumables.
I'm assuming you're going to do a best and worst.
Yeah, it was not a good year. Just going to tell you right now.
Is Isabel's movie in your list of best or worst?
Not worst, but not best.
So maybe you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
Also, the trip as a whole, air some grievances, I guess. The platform is yours.
Right now?
Or not.
I thought you wanted me to save that for the diatribe, but it was a really weak competition year. And then there was all this drama about goddamn Wim Wenders and his apolitical jury making stupid ass comments about art and cinema, and then awarded one of the worst films I saw there with The Golden Bear. So I guess Mr. Wenders, while a legendary director and has some beautiful films to his credit, also hasn't done anything good in a long time. I feel like, I'll probably get into this more in the video, but Berlin's had the film festival, the Berlinale's had some trouble rebranding since it just changed hands again 2 years ago with Trisha Tuttle as the head of it. And I think there are several reasons behind that. I think one is timing, but I think they really need to get on board with getting some goddamn jury presidents that give a shit about the festival and wanting it to succeed. Because I don't know why he said those dumbass comments. This is my 10th time going. Meryl Streep was president the first year I went in 2016. They're looking to catch you up on anything you say. And I remember that year Meryl said something like, we're all descended from ancestors of Africa, the motherland. And everybody got all upset about that. It's like, no matter what you say, you're going to piss people off. But it's like, have a clear, resolute perspective about... You know the dumb shit you're going to get asked, and that's not dumb shit. Like, you want to make a statement that is somebody's asking you about your thoughts on the state of the world and what is the importance of gathering here to watch cinema while people are being slaughtered, a few hundred miles away. Like, could you say something? Could you say something that, is eloquent to any degree? Have you thought of it? So, yeah, there was a lot of annoyance going on there.
Do you want to talk about Isabel's movie?
Okay, so, I was very excited about it, and I like Ulrike Oettinger. And I've been waiting for this film since I heard about it. Ulrika's been trying to make this since 2008 with Tilda Swinton and Isabel. And one of the producers on the film last year at the Berlinale, because I've written about this film many times over the years, and she's like, hey, we're filming right now, and you've been such a supporter of this project. Would you like to come see some stills and chat with me? And I did, and it was lovely. Unfortunately, I think that while I can tell that it's an Oettinger film, and it does remind me at times of some of her gloriousness from the 70s, almost anything outside of the two leads was a little bit taxing and a little too silly. But Isabel looks great. She's vampy enough, and I was delighted at her. But ultimately, I give that film 2.5 out of 5. And I did write a review for it, if anyone is interested.
Good to know. Well, we'll look forward to your video about the festival.
No.
Did you want to talk about any food experiences?
So it was kind of a stressful year also because I had the morning I woke up, as you know, to fly there, I started developing a sty on the inside of my eyelid, which, is extremely stressful. And it looks like I took a significant punch to the face for about 2 days. I have taken punches to the face before. Okay. So I know what it looks like.
Well, they didn't get you right. So someone needs to hit you hard enough, but
no, that is not, that only makes me try harder. Anyway, aggression does not work with me.
Only I can be aggressive.
I'm forward, not aggressive.
Oh.
Hey, people run right over you if you let them.
Wow.
Anyway,
Nick fighting this lone war against the man, whomever that is. Administration, bills, and loans.
Why are we talking about the Dow? That dummy. Anyway, so going in, I was already kind of in a bad mood, and I thankfully had one a couple years ago, so I had this medication and.
Not telling everyone you
it was the day I was flying. I had
you had a half-used course of antibiotics that surely was expired.
It's goop you put in your eye. Okay, it's fine. Also, although I did learn.
Well, the irony is that you continue to put the goop in your eye and it did not work.
Well, I wasn't doing it right. Because then I looked up this goddamn medication and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because that I spent the first Monday I was there with my head under the faucet. Because, that's how don't pop a sty, don't squeeze it. You can massage it, but you should be running, warm water over it, a hot compress. And that's what I did basically all day Monday. And then Tuesday, it significantly improved. And, I know it's gross, but it drained. And it was, happy days again. And then I woke up the next Saturday and I'd got one on the outside of my eyelid, which was distressing. So that put me down for another 2 days before I started looking normal again. So there was a lot of alone time in my hotel room with my head in the sink. But outside of those 4 days of downtime, it was great. So because I felt like a wounded bird, there's this Indian restaurant I ate at quite a bit because they were very fast and affordable and had good food and step in and out like a vampire.
Wonderful. Moving on. Films released we didn't cover. How to Make a Killing.
Oh, yes. This it's an A24 film, I believe. Is that correct? I need to double it. It's another Glenn Powell film directed by John Patton Ford. Margaret Qualley, Jessica Henwick are in it. John Patton Ford previously made Emily the Criminal, I believe, with Aubrey Plaza. This kind of got dumped in the theater without much marketing, and I didn't even get a press invite for it, so we probably would have had to pay to see it, but of course I was gone. But it's a thriller drama that sounds actually really interesting, and I do like Glenn Powell, but yeah, it's not been well reviewed and it's flopping hard.
Psycho Killer.
This I also kind of wanted to see originally, but and it did not. This purposely did not screen for press here. Directed by Gavin Polone and starring Georgina Campbell, who of Barbarian fame, and also the legendary Malcolm McDowell. Apparently, this is not well reviewed at all. I think it might have a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes or something right now.
Redux.
This is also a thriller. Kevin and Matthew McManus are the directors, starring Michaela McManus. I guess they're all related. But I think it's about a mother taking revenge, and it's also a sci-fi thriller.
Lastly, This Is Not a Test.
This is another zombie outbreak film, and I think it's about high school students trying to shelter in place in high school, directed by Adam McDonald, which high schoolers, zombies, I'm tired of both of those kind of raggedy subjects.
Projects of interest, Koreeda.
Oh, so Hirozaku Koreeda, I think he has 2 films that are due this year. One most definitely will be at Cannes. We have a few months to wait for that lineup to drop. But he already has another project that there's no title yet, but it's going to star Eddie Redmayne. You recently saw your first Hirokazu Koreeda film, which was Monster, which we have a Patreon review out there for.
Okay.
And I believe you quite liked it. Won the Queer Palm that year at Cannes.
All right.
You no memory? Okay.
No.
All right.
There's a new Paul Schrader film.
Yes, which always excites me. Apparently, it's called Non Compos Mentis, and it's starring Liam Hemsworth, Caleb Landry Jones, and another legend, Diane Wiest. And I think it's about two privileged brothers witnessing their mother slip into dementia, which probably is hitting close to home for Mr. Schrader, because a couple years ago he had to put his wife, the actress Mary Kay Place, into a home because she is suffering from that, which, yeah.
Lastly, Sandra Bernhard is joining the 4th season of HBO's The White Lotus.
Yes, which previously Helena Bonham Carter, Steve Coogan, Chris Messina, Alexander Ludwig, those are all people I'm quite familiar with. Sandra Bernhard's very exciting. But this season's going to be set in France, and I was hoping that Mr. White would be knocking on Isabelle Huppert's door, but maybe there's more to come.
On our Patreon, we have many films we need to get to, so don't fret to those who may be concerned. We need to catch up. In Nick's absence, of course, I couldn't review them alone, but
I think we have enough time to finish the February ones.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, to come.
Yes, things to come, starring Isabelle Huppert.
Unfortunately, there are many entries in the obituary section.
A lot of people died while I was out of the country.
It's not about you.
I know, but every day I was like, oh my God, they died?
The Reverend Jesse Jackson died.
Mm-hmm.
A very prominent civil rights activist.
Yes.
United States presidential candidate.
Twice. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know about other people, but for me, I feel like since I can remember, I knew who Jesse Jackson was.
Mm-hmm.
And, walked side by side with Martin Luther King. He was also a early supporter of LGBT rights.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like a very good, decent man.
Mm-hmm. Understood the power in needing to be connected as we fight the man. Yeah.
He died at the age of 84. We have Tom Noonan, an actor who I think people would recognize from Manhunter and RoboCop 2. He died at the age of 74.
He was in so many things. Another favorite of mine with him is an early Ty West film, House of the Devil.
Frederick Wiseman died. He is a filmmaker.
Legendary documentarian. One of the most notable documentarians that's ever lived, actually.
And I didn't know who he was until I watched the new Jodie Foster film, A Private Life. He plays her psychiatrist.
Yeah, you've never seen one of his
mentor.
docs. Yeah.
So, he was 96 years old.
Yeah, he was. I think at LAFCA, the LA Film Critics gave him a lifetime achievement. Maybe the year before I was inducted into that prestigious group of people. But he showed up for that. He flew from France.
He flew from France.
And I think they were all shocked because, but he's consistently had some very long documentaries out. And then I reviewed at Venice 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was called A Couple. Because he rarely, that might have been his only narrative feature, which was kind of odd seeing a Frederick Wiseman narrative feature. But yeah.
Of course, Eric Dane McSteamy died.
Yeah,
at the age of 53.
ALS, right?
Yeah. I think most people know him from either Charmed or, of course, Grey's Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
When I worked in that salon in Sunset Plaza, he would often be with his wife and like a stroller walking by. And I think once or twice she came in, but I'm sure they lived like up in the hills right there. So they were just coming down to like just go for a walk. And of course, that little strip where I was in, those like TMZ Hollywood tour buses would come by. So I think a lot of celebrities would be out there just to be able to wave at the people, which was always nice, I think.
I want to be where the people are.
But it's sad to see someone who was so like vibrant and young just like deteriorate so quickly. And I'm sure it's devastating to his loved ones.
Well, so that kid they were pushing around, that was 10 years ago. So that kid, that's still a young child.
Yeah. And Robert Duvall.
Yeah. Also
I would say
legendary.
prolific actor.
Legendary.
Because I
also.
know who he is. So that
Mhm.
means he's somebody if I know who he is. And I think probably, what's the movie? He's in like a Godfather movie, right?
Yeah, he's the adopted brother.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I think I know him from The Godfather.
I was hoping, there were too many people that died. I would like you to see his Oscar-winning role for Tender Mercies. But yeah, legendary. In 10th grade honors English, we had to read To Kill a Mockingbird, which I had. It was the second time I had to read it because I read it on my own volition. And I remember it was a favorite English teacher of mine. And she was talking about Boo Radley. And I'm like, oh, you mean Robert Duvall? And she's like, you're a 40-year-old stuck in a teenager's body.
That's funny because I would describe you as an old kid, but so he's in Apocalypse Now.
Oh, I mean, which I made you watch the Year of Megalopolis, so you could be familiar with Coppola. But yeah, I love that film.
He was 95 years old.
He did a film with Catherine O'Hara. That would be a good one to watch.
Well, there's no time, but sure. The secret film this week was your choice, and you chose the 1999 American coming-of-age sports comedy drama. I don't know how funny I think it is.
No.
Varsity Blues, directed by Brian Robbins.
Yes, you are familiar with Brian Robbins because you watch this film all the time, Norbit.
You know, I watched Norbit like last week.
Yeah, you watch it all the time.
And I think I watched Norbit like a month ago. I watch Norbit all the time.
So he did 3 films with Eddie Murphy, including Meet Dave, which I've never seen, and 1,000 Words, which you and I did see in the theater. But yeah, we were in LA by then. He also did, right before Varsity Blues, Good Burger.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I was never a big Keenan and Kel fan.
I've never seen either Good Burger film.
Yeah, but wow. Well, I couldn't have told. I've seen Norbit so many times, and I couldn't have told you who directed that thing.
Well, Mr. Brian Robbins.
Looking at a picture of Brian Robbins, he kind of looks like if Michael Kors buzzed his head and got a little like mini facelift or something.
Ooh, okay.
I like Michael Kors a lot. I loved him on Project Runway.
I've never seen Varsity Blues. I remember very clearly when it came out. That was a very difficult year of life, the 1998 to 1999 period, as an angsty 8th and 9th grader. So I remember this very clearly, and I bought the soundtrack because on the school bus every day, I had to hear that song called Run by Collective Soul. And I liked that song.
The soundtrack is a highlight of this film. I
agree.
I think that I was driving... I recall driving I lived for a while in Alabama and decided to leave and was driving back to Vegas, and my mom was with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I recall us staying in a hotel, and it was the first time my mom realized like how irritated I get when I watch TV, I think, because we were watching Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never seen that show before. And we're in the hotel. And my mom all night was just laughing at me because I was so irritated. But then we put on, I think we might have watched Varsity Blues. I do not remember. But the line, "I don't want your life," is like burned into my head. So I don't know if that was just part of the zeitgeist and that's why. But because I didn't remember a single thing. And there were things I was certain was going to happen in this movie that did not. So
I'm sure that there were clips because there's a whipped cream scene that I have a memory of, but I definitely never saw
the whipped
this
cream.
film.
You know what? Isn't there like a parody scary movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Or Not Another Teen Movie.
Maybe I'm thinking of that. But anyway, what is Varsity Blues about? In small town Texas, backup quarterback John Moxon inherits the starting job after Golden Boy Lance Harbor blows out his knee. Mox rebels against their tyrannical win-at-all-costs coach, sparks romance with Lance's girlfriend, and leads the team to victory, proving football matters, but not as much as thinking for yourself. That's the full movie.
Notably, the screenwriter W. Peter Iliff also wrote Point Break.
All right. I think I like this a little bit more than you do. I have issues with it, but
oh yeah, I definitely have issues with it.
I think that because I was, 20 when this movie came out, 21, it definitely like took me back to a vibe. I like how the film looks. I'm not a football or sports fan, but I think it did a good job of painting a picture of the stress and the just how crazy people get over high school sports. I was also a huge Married with Children fan. And of course, Al Bundy, he was a high school football star and that's all he talked about. And he was stuck reliving that glory while trying to manage his current mundane life as a shoe salesman. So I feel like and that was also around that time. So I think having that distinct memory of Al Bundy and then watching this movie, it all felt very familiar to me. So I think I connected to it more than I probably should have.
Well, I think the second half of it comes together nicely enough, but there is so much shit in this that is, the adults are straight up caricatures, but also as a time capsule of the late 90s and the shit that was completely normalized that now we would be horrified at.
So I'm just going to start going through my notes, but to be clear, the backup quarterback, John Moxon, is portrayed by James Van Der Beek, and the golden boy quarterback, Lance Harbor, is portrayed by
a light bulb blonde Paul Walker.
Paul Walker gets injured. James Van Der Beek has to take over. And then the bulk of the movie is now James Van Der Beek dealing with this newfound fame because in this small town in Texas, football is life. I believe my Southern accent is better than many of the people in this film. That's one of the problems. But the biggest problem is what you already said for me, is that there's just too much going on. I wish they would have pared down some of this shit so we could really get into the psychology of what this means, like for the parents of these kids who are like, this is our way out. Everyone seems like this football is the way out of this town. And it's like, okay, there are other things you could do. So I wish you would have spent more time better understanding. We're going to get to it, but James Van Der Beek's character is intellectual indeed. And I don't think the film does a good job of... It
certainly does not. I would not have gathered that about him. Notably, this is Regina George's favorite film.
From Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, is she a real person?
Nope, she's not. Well, to some maybe, but...
Okay. I'm just going to start going through my notes. The character of Billy Bob is portrayed by...
Ron Lester.
And...
Who's dead.
Right. So
also,
3 significant characters in the film, James Van Der Beek, Paul Walker, and Ron Lester, are all dead, sadly.
And John Voight's still kicking.
But John Voight's still kicking.
Jesus.
Anyway, the film... Okay, so Billy Bob is this... I don't know football, but whatever the position is where they like block people, those players are usually big as hell.
Yes.
So Billy Bob is big as hell. I was 100% sure his character was going to die because when we meet him in the beginning of the film, this man is driving with his friends in his pickup truck. He is driving the truck while eating pancakes. So this man is holding pancakes like they're tortilla chips, dipping them in peanut butter, and then chasing them down by taking syrup to the head. And I just knew he was going to die.
Well, it's funny because the head injury stuff, this is before
CTE.
we were like actively discussing that.
I was
CTE
thinking about that because don't they say at one point, like he says, I wrote it down because Billy Bob's also meant to be kind of stupid. And I want to get back to something you said because I didn't quite catch it, that you were getting sort of gay vibes from him. But Billy Bob's dumbass is telling James Van Der Beek, they scanned my cat. They scanned my cat.
I know. And
James is like, do you mean you got a CAT scan? Yeah. And they said, I'm all good. Oh, so after how many concussions? 6. You had never seen this. Did you think Billy Bob was going to die?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was 100% sure his big ass was going to drop dead.
Was going to drop dead, and then there's a faux suicide attempt as well.
Well, okay. Not only is there a faux suicide attempt, now that I'm thinking about it, we see Billy Bob in class, and their teacher, Ms. What's her name? The stripper who looks like Sarah Palin.
Oh, yeah, she did look like Sarah Palin.
She's teaching class and she asked them to do something. And Billy Bob says, can I go to the bathroom? And his big ass goes to the bathroom and is like, it looks like he's having a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back drenching in sweat. And then he passes out in class.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like you just
Miss
said,
Miss
Davis. Then, like you just said, they're at a house party and Billy Bob is playing a game of drinking shots with James Van Der Beek's girlfriend, who I recognize.
Amy Smart.
What do I know her from?
Oh, okay. Well, we need to watch Just Friends because I recall Anna Faris being so excellent in that. But Amy Smart was in this movie you and I rented when we were first dating, and was it called Seven Moons or something? And they had those moon demons, and then for years you were calling me the moon demon because there were these pale white night creatures.
Well,
that's Amy Smart. Anyway, she's also
I'm known for my keen
Alexander Aja's remake of Mirrors.
You know what I recognize her from? Rat Race.
Oh yeah, that was around then, 2001 mm-hmm. or 2, somewhere in there.
Because who have I always liked in Rat Race?
The guy from Clueless.
Oh, Breckenmeyer. And Seth Green.
And
the brother.
The brother with the tongue ring.
With the tongue. Yeah, what's his name?
God, he was in something I reviewed at a film festival years and years ago. Something about Little Dizzle was in the title. I don't.
How will I ever know who he is? Ugh.
From the cast list on IMDb.
Oh, but I need to find his picture to know.
Oh, okay.
Can we do...
Just ask ChatGPT, brother of Breckenmeyer.
But this is happening in real time.
Wow.
Okay. Vince Viloof?
Oh.
Yes, I liked Vince Viloof. He hasn't done much.
There was something he did in 2009 called the something of Little Dizzle.
The Immaculate Conception of Little Dizzle.
Yeah. I remember reviewing that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I do know Amy Smart. She's cute. I liked her. She didn't really have much to do. And we're going to get back to it, but were you confused by her characterization?
Very much so. And this is a rare... Usually, I almost always think of her as a blonde. They make her brunette in this. I think they're trying to make a distinction between her and Ali Larder, though.
But she is at this house party, and she's playing this game of drinking shots with Billy Bob.
Which is giving me Karen Allen in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And Billy Bob can't hang, which is crazy because his blood volume has to be...
His big-ass body.
Right. It has to be 5 times hers. And he... is like deliriously drunk, like alcohol poisoning. We see him run into the garage and vomit in the washing machine while his friend is having sex with some lady.
No, it's Paul Walker.
Oh, is it Paul Walker?
And Ali Larder, because Ali Larder's shoes in that scene were atrocious.
What? I didn't notice.
Oh my God. She's wearing that blue thing, these blue chunky heels. Like it would.
I was so distracted by thinking, what would I do if I came home and you had a party and one of your little raggedy friends threw up in the washing machine? Oh,
that would not happen. No.
The way I would have to center myself.
That room gets abused before that because...
someone sent us a lovely little care package with some CBD products, which I will surely try.
Mm-hmm.
I would slather my entire body with all that. I'd be so bad. I wouldn't know what to do.
That room was abused before that because Ali Larder's trying to get it on with her boyfriend, Paul Walker, even though he's on medication, having his own issues.
We're going to get back to that.
So
Don't worry.
He's already like giving hints like, girl, I can't perform right now. And she turns on the dryer. That's not good for the dryer. You don't have anything in it?
Basically says like, that'll get me off. Don't worry.
Oh.
Okay, but I got ahead of myself. So Paul Walker's character, the star quarterback, Lance Harbor, which is kind of a great name.
Mr. Harbor.
Apparently, because we get a scene where we see John Voight, who plays Coach, I want to say Coach Carter, but that's a movie.
Kilmer. Yeah, Coach Carter's with Sammy Jackson.
Well, then Coach Carter makes me think of Clarence Carter.
Clarence Carter. Ooh, shit.
Okay, Coach Kilmer is portrayed by John Voight, and we get a scene where John Voight is having injections administered to Paul Walker, which at first I thought were steroids, but then you realize he's putting them in his knee.
Is it cortisol?
So I'm assuming it's some sort of steroid to help with the pain. But it becomes very clear after the first game we see that Paul Walker's character has had knee issues, but the coach is forcing him to play through it because all Coach Kilmer cares about is winning.
His 23rd, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They have like a Adolf Hitler, like statue of this man.
They
in
do.
town. It's really weird.
Well, or a Donald Trump like statue.
Oh, yeah.
But I also thought it was funny that we see him at the end. He has like Coach of the Year, and it's like 1980s. It's been a decade, sir. But he's obsessed with winning. He doesn't care about these boys. He treats them all like shit.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like he could be Fagin from Oliver Twist.
Oh my God. James Van Der Beek as John Moxon. So he's dating Amy Smart. His parents, who are just so...
His parents are trash, capital T, trash. Oh, we got to get into that.
They're just so like simple, like simple hillbillies or something. Because all they care about is, okay, I will say, because I said I didn't think this was that funny of a movie. There is one funny aspect of it. James Van Der Beek's brother is so desperate for attention that we see him like he's playing with religion.
Yes.
So we get a scene with a little brother acting like a black Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see him acting like a cult leader. He's just doing anything to get attention because he doesn't like sports.
Yes.
And the parents only care, specifically the dad.
Well, I think that's supposed to show kind of how perverted the ideology is in this small town of West Canaan.
Well,
because they have, very blasphemously put football of the Lord. But also I read that as the kind of subversively as the queer, there's a queer aspect in religious dressing for this young boy because his dad treats him like he's a freak.
Right.
So it's the same trope as like he would have had as a queer kid, which is kind of interesting.
Well, I think that what this film does successfully is show how obsessed these people are and that their only savior is football.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very effective.
Crew expendable.
But James Van Der Beek is this character. It's clear that he doesn't love football, but that his dad wanted to be a player and did play in high school, but of course didn't go pro. So he's sort of living vicariously through his son, putting a lot of pressure on him.
A man named Richard Lineback plays the... Oh, wait, no, Richard Lineback is Paul Walker's dad.
But James Van Der Beek, we're told, has intentions of getting a full academic scholarship to an Ivy League school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a pretty tall order. I feel like for me to believe that this kid would get a full ride to an Ivy League school, I feel like we need to spend a little bit of time with him. The only mention we get that he is smart, I guess, is one day they're at practice and James Van Der Beek's character is holding what I think is supposed to be a playbook,
mm-hmm.
but really he's reading a novel. And John Voight catches him and is mad that he's reading a book and not the plays.
Hey, just reading a book doesn't make you smart. That could be some Colleen Hoover shit.
But am I wrong? That's the only mention that he might be intellectual.
Just because one reads a book. I mean, what is the book?
Don't you think we needed a little bit more that he's different from his teammates?
Right. Like if he'd been reading Nietzsche, I'd be like, okay.
Well, or see him in class where he's actually like good at math because unless I missed it, I don't even know what he would, like, what is he going to study when he gets to school?
Even Tyler Perry shows his hoes answering Jeopardy questions.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weak, that we don't really get a sense of.
I don't either, because when
what this kid is into.
Acceptance letter, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Okay.
There's contention between James and Paul's dads because, of course, Paul's dad is also very competitive, really into football, wants his son to be a big deal. And they're having a barbecue and they're all, like a dick swinging contest. And Paul's dad is trying to show how talented his son is. So he puts like a can on top of his head
mm-hmm.
and has his son knock it off with the football. So of course, James' dad is like, my son can do that too. And of course, James... hits his dad square. And I didn't realize it was purposely until the end. Because doesn't he hit someone else in the face?
Yeah. Two other people. He hits a mascot and then that guy off the horse.
That's right. And that's when his dad realizes, like, damn, my son can aim and he did mean to hit me. I did think that was funny.
But also that scene drove me crazy because the mom is sitting there drinking and everything goes into slow motion as they're all screaming for Mox to one up Paul Walker, and his mom's drunk ass is going. Bleh.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking, maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin. saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
They do make them seem trashy.
These hicks.
Wow.
That's what this film makes them seem like. They are not, they do not read well.
I want to talk about the Sarah Palin lookalike.
Yes, Miss Davis.
A very beautiful lady.
Tony Perensky.
We see that she's teaching sex ed.
That scene is bad.
It's really bad. That's the scene where Billy Bob gets up to use the bathroom and then ends up passing out. And she's asking the kids.
Well, she wants everyone to refer to genitalia by the correct terminology. So first, we have to, I guess, expiate the
elephant in the room,
the slang terms out of their minds by naming them all.
So she asked them, like, give me other ways to describe an erection. And I felt like this could have been a moment when James Van Der Beek's character could have shown, like, I'm too mature for this, and like,
right, like, you dummy,
like, I can explain these. Like, that would have been a good moment to show him explain something. Like, maybe someone asked a question about anatomy or how the body works, and his character explains it better than the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That would have helped me understand, like, oh, he's a smart kid. But instead, he just kind of has a little moment where he finds different ways to describe a boner.
Mm-hmm.
But that teacher, because we see her again later, and she's driving a Mustang convertible, and it's a nice car for small town 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And James Van Der Beek even says, like, that's a nice car for her salary. We find out that this lady, this very beautiful lady, she's a stripper at a local strip club.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was so confused because we see her stripping and she's topless and the boys are there. Also, can we talk about how this town serves all these children alcohol?
All night long.
All night long, from at the bar, at the restaurant, at the strip club. At one point, James Van Der Beek goes to, like, the liquor store, and the man not only sells it to him, he gives it to him for free. Because he's, like, now the star quarterback.
And I think didn't he want Coke? Like Coca-Cola?
Did he?
I don't. And he have this beer. There's another moment where Scott Caan steals a car.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
Oh my God!
But at the strip club, the boys are there. Scott Caan, James Van Der Beek, Billy Bob. Is Paul Walker there?
No, he's already injured by.
Oh, he's already injured.
Oh,
I feel like
they brought him out.
Yeah, they did bring him out because it's towards the end. I'm getting ahead of myself.
He's had 35 surgeries by then.
Yes, that's right. But they're at the strip club, and the teacher is dancing to "Hot for Teacher"
with a chalkboard as a prop.
a chalkboard in this small town. And when she sees the boys, she freaks out and then begs them not to tell. Okay, I'm so confused, bitch.
None of these other raggedy students have gone in there.
You're in a small town. You're a exceedingly beautiful woman who's also a teacher. You clearly have more money than you should have.
That is such a trope. Remember in summer school with Mark Harmon?
Yes.
Remember the one kid he's tired every day.
The one sexy kid who looked like 36 years old.
Like, okay.
I thought that was such a ridiculous plot point. But getting back to that house party that they had, I think another thing I didn't like is because we focus on 4 of the footballers, right? Scott Caan, Billy Bob, James Van Der Beek, Paul Walker. There is a black kid who I feel like should have got more shine, because I think his storyline was something that if you wanted to really do something, his would have been a good one too.
Well, he's kind of gets treated the worst.
Right. And he even says, like, the coach doesn't care about me. I'm like a really great player, but he's not going to call any scouts for me. My mom has to call scouts. And we find out in the end that the black kid actually does get scouted to play for Grambling.
That's Wendell, played by Eliel Swinton. He also has, he seems to have quite a close friendship with James Van Der Beek compared to the others.
Which is so interesting, because it's like, this would have been so much more interesting to me if we would have focused on, like, James Van Der Beek and Wendell as a pair, because they seem like the smarter ones who are more
aware of what's happening and care about what's happening. Because the first time I remember Wendell in this film is after a game, and John Voight in the locker room, he's telling me he played well, and he's like, oh, but my knee's really hurting, and he's like, never show weakness. Like, okay.
Because Scott Caan. So what I was going to say is we really only focus on the 4 white ones, and they're kind of a mixed match because James Van Der Beek's supposed to be like the smarter one, I guess. Paul Walker's like the popular one. Scott Caan is a douchebag.
Scott Caan is a date rapist.
Yeah, he's a full-on creep.
He basically says, like, you get the girls' panties off by giving them Vicodin and beer, and oop.
Right. Listen, y'all mad about Tyra Banks and America's Next Top Model. Y'all need to go back. This is why you can't go back and look at things with a different lens. It's like, this is what y'all thought was acceptable to.
Oh, yeah, there's the F slur in there. I mean, and that's how these people still talk. So
anyway, and then Billy Bob's big dumbass. It's like they're just such a weird melange of characters that
I hated the scene. Speaking of that strip club, I have a complaint. Another complaint about that scene is Billy Bob takes his shirt off and gets on stage. And why?
Actually, I was thinking he didn't look, with his shirt off, he didn't look as big as I thought he would.
It's not, I'm not trying to body shame him. It's just like, it's just so embarrassing and stupid. Like,
well, speaking of Billy Bob, so how does Paul get hurt at a game? Whatever the position is that Billy Bob plays that would like defend the quarterback. I know people are screaming because I don't know football. Whatever Billy Bob's job was.
The offensive.
He's the offensive?
Mm-hmm.
No, offense means.
The offensive line.
Billy Bob is part of the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Well, he's supposed to protect the quarterback.
Yeah, the big person who protects the quarterback is Billy Bob. And he is unsuccessful. And so Paul gets tackled. And because we already know that he has knee problems, that tackle takes his ass out.
And then specifically, I guess that would be the left tackle, the LT.
Oh, God. Anyway, of course, Billy Bob feels bad. John Voight is screaming at Billy Bob that it's his fault. Paul Walker is devastated because he knows his career's over. They immediately go to the hospital. But then, of course, the game has to go on. Mm-hmm. So James Van Der Beek replaces. And then he ends up helping the team get to victory. But we get to the hospital after the game. And the surgeon comes out and Paul Walker's dad is asking, like, when can he go back? And the surgeon's like, first of all, he's going to need many surgeries.
All his ligaments are torn.
All his ligaments are gone, baby. Also, he should have been playing in the first place. So I don't know who let him out there like that. And the dad is just like, well, this is going to ruin his future. And okay, but now we need to talk about Allie Larder.
Allie Larder immediately is like, oh,
because
she's done.
She ain't shit. Immediately when she realizes that her little boyfriend, the star quarterback, is not going to be able to play, who does she turn to? The new star quarterback.
She immediately gets a ride with James Van Der Beek. It's like in a Parasite in some alien movie where the demon has to crawl out of the damaged hosts.
Oh, it's not even that, because she's faster than the demon.
She is. She's like, oh.
When I say immediately, I mean immediately. Immediately she goes, well, I guess I should go since it's a family thing. And she literally runs to James' car.
Literally like.
And then when she's in the car, she immediately takes her clothes off and says, oh,
I'm wearing underwear.
Don't be weird. I'm just changing from the party. Immediately tries to seduce him.
Mm-hmm.
She really ain't shit. And you know what? Allie Larder is built for this because she's like the same thing in Obsessed, right?
Legally Blonde. Mm-hmm.
She is good at it.
A seductress.
She looks like a problem. Yeah. But Scott Caan at that party, I forgot to mention. Oh, what I was going to say is I can't believe that James Van Der Beek, whatever his character's name is, John Moxon, that he would tolerate Scott Caan's antics.
I mean, he's a creep.
The police come, and again, the movie does a very good job of showing how football is life. I don't want your life. I'm going to lose my train of thought. Anyway, Scott Caan, the police show up to this party and say, like, you shouldn't be drinking. And Scott Caan's being a D-bag and is being condescending, and then steals the cop car that the cops showed up in. And they can't do anything. We even see later on the cops talking about it at like a diner where John Voight is. And John Voight's acting like he's the president.
You better leave my kids alone.
Again, it is doing a good job of showing how football runs this town, but it's just like, wow.
Also, Scott Caan at an earlier party, we see what would you call him, a football elder, this balding man that goes to all these parties like a big L word and gets hit in the penis with a baseball bat. like Scott Caan's such a douche.
We do get to see Scott Caan's butt a few times because he likes to moon people.
Yes, he does.
With the cop car scene, he picks up a couple of girls, makes them take their clothes off and throws the clothes out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
So they're riding around naked. And he's trying to pick up James Van Der Beek so they can go have sex with these girls. He is a menace.
Yes, he is. He's a menace to society.
Full-on menace.
Yeah.
James Van Der Beek.
Yes.
A very handsome young man.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned him in the obituary section last week. I'm very familiar with who he is, but I never watched Dawson's Creek.
I never did either. Partially because at the same time, I had to be involved with people that were into Dawson's Creek and what's that other Gilmore Girls?
Party of Five was that
and Friends,
Felicity.
And all of the people that seemed to love those, I couldn't stand as humans, so it was a turnoff. So I never watched any of those shows.
So I think this is probably my introduction to him. Maybe I don't know that I've seen him in anything other than this movie I watched
Bad
yesterday.
Hair.
Oh, well, we talked
Pose.
about and Pose,
Yeah.
yes.
No,
but anyway,
I think if this film had been a bigger hit, it would have changed his trajectory a bit.
What I wanted to say, well, two things. One, I did like him in this. He's quite charming.
He's
he definitely
sweet.
has screen presence, but the hair and makeup on him is so odd. I'm assuming James Van Der Beek is naturally like a level 7, like a dirty blonde. And for some reason, they wanted him to be darker in this movie. I'm assuming it's to contrast Paul Walker.
Same thing with Amy Smart and Alexander.
Yes.
Yeah.
So his hair's darkened and he looks good when the lighting is like darker, like nighttime scenes.
Like a vampire.
But then we see him in the daylight. And for people who are familiar with the film, specifically the scene after they leave the strip club,
Mm-hmm.
when it's like 7 a.m., I thought he looked like Edward Cullen from Twilight. They paint him so pale. And I don't understand why. Like, I don't know if that was just a mistake from the makeup artist. I don't know if they had painted him dark or if they had painted him more pale so that in these nightclub scenes, strip club scenes, he wouldn't look so washed out. But then maybe on that same day, they shot the exterior scene. I don't know what happened, but every time we see him in the sunlight, he looks like 2 shades lighter than his natural skin tone. And then whatever brown they put in his hair was very brassy because there were times it looked like orangey.
I was laughing because I had those same parted kind of bangs at that time in life.
Well, it's appropriate.
And then Paul Walker's light blonde hair, I also had that color when I had hair about that year.
Oh, and since I'm talking about James Van Der Beek being a handsome young man, of course, Paul Walker is dreamy.
Yes.
Okay, getting back to Ali Larter's raggedy ass. She invites James Van Der Beek over to her place, and his dumbass goes.
Well, I mean, she is titillating.
Okay, but then I don't really understand his character because he seems to have some integrity.
He does, but it's odd that whenever he's challenged about his relationship with Julie, Amy Smart, Paul Walker's sister in this, he is like, I'm not in love with her per se.
Right.
Okay.
But he goes over there and this little heifer tries to seduce him. And this is where we get the famous whipped cream bikini scene.
Well, she's like, I want to make a sundae. You want a sundae? I'd be like, I'm not eating ice cream that late.
I don't want dairy
But
before I'm about to
here.
like if we're gonna be necking, I don't want dairy all up on my mouth.
No,
But did you notice the song that was playing when he came over? It was Aaliyah's "If Your Girl Only Knew." I'm like, okay, this is
that's right,
on the nose.
Very. And then she goes and that was almost like a Naked Gun type moment.
Okay, but it does end kind of in a lovely way because James does go in for the kill and then he says, oh, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. And then they sit and have a heart to heart and she is vulnerable in saying that this is my only way out of
West Canaan.
West Canaan. That's what this place is called.
Mm-hmm.
And he comforts her and basically says, no, it's not. And then after that, she stops trying to push up on him.
Mm-hmm. But she's still doing too much because then she like plants one on his lips in the hallway, of course, and Julie gets mad.
Amy Smart gets mad, but then that seems to be resolved very quickly and like without any, I don't know, her character I had alluded to this. I found her character confusing because I don't get a sense of how invested she is in him.
Well, he's always been a football player, and then she doesn't seem real happy about that. And she doesn't like his newfound acclaim in town. I don't know. She seems jealous for the wrong reasons. Their communication was off.
Yeah.
Even for teenagers.
So the teacher strip club scene, they're there all night drinking. They leave at 7 a.m. Of course, they're super hungover and they have a big game that evening.
Mm-hmm.
So they lose because they are in no condition to play. John Voight goes in on their asses.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a scene with James Van Der Beek and his dad, and the dad's upset with him, like, you're jeopardizing your opportunity. And that's where we get the I don't want your life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want your life. I want a t-shirt that says that.
I mean, basically, this is the masculine version of all those movies about mothers who thrust their children into the limelight because it was the dream they had for themselves.
So the film ends with James having a little mini crisis about what he should do with football. And then also this was also a weak part of the story because he, at the very end, sort of says like the stronghold football has on this town is toxic. And if I don't do something, who will? And I feel like it's too late in the game for you to bring that up. That should have been your character's main motivation from the beginning, is that you hate what football has done to this town, to your life, when really you want to be a scientist or a playwright. Like I really wish we would have known what Mox really wanted to do with life.
There's no details about that. I wish this had devolved into something like Teaching Mrs. Tingle, where they kidnap Helen Mirren and hold her hostage.
But he goes to Amy Smart and is trying to say this to her. And this is what confused me about her. She goes, "What's wrong with you? Why can't you just be the hero?" And I just thought, like,
what if I lose? Heroes don't lose.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't really get, I don't know. Their relationship seems very lukewarm to me.
It seems like it's not going to go beyond the next semester.
I feel like he needed to be in a relationship so that the Ali Larter character, like, I do feel like that was important, that we show that because of their position within this institution, they're more desirable.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense to me. Maybe I wish she was more sort of stereotypical, like the really jealous girlfriend who gets heartbroken when she realizes this other woman is into him. Either way, the final game happens.
Or something that maybe she feels like she is going to be more stuck there because she's got to take care of an ailing parent, or now that the brother's injured, she's got to be stuck or something.
But the final game, initially, James Van Der Beek says he's not going to play because he has found out that he's getting a full academic scholarship to an Ivy League school.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not interested in playing. But John Voight tells him, if you don't play and get us to victory, I'm going to blackmail you. Because if you think I can't if I can't manipulate your transcripts, I can.
But doesn't Brown already have his transcripts? That's why they...
That part, and also like...
What wouldn't it be like? No, this man flunked everything. What?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? And also, like, I don't know. I thought that was so stupid. Like, okay, so I just got an institution like Brown is not just haphazardly giving out admissions and scholarships.
I mean, a full ride
to then have like some PE coach call and say, like, actually flunked everything. Like, what?
Like, that wouldn't be suspicious. Like, he's not coming here to play football.
Right. And I'm not coming here to play football. But that's when James Van Der Beek realizes, okay, I have to play. So they play.
And this is where we see him become a true leader.
Well, because first, Wendell, the black guy, gets injured. And immediately we see John Voight trying to do the same thing he did to Paul Walker, inject him. And James Van Der Beek runs into the room and says, you better not do it. If you do it, I'm not going to play. And then all of a sudden, all the other players are like, yeah, we're forming a coup. Where did that come from? None of them really talked about how they felt about John Voight and about the system.
Well, no, the main ones do. They're always bitching about Kilmer.
Yeah, they're bitching about him, but the way that they just kind of...
They all fall in line.
They all fall in line, like, we're willing to jeopardize this thing we love over what? Like over Wendell? Y'all didn't seem that close to Wendell.
Y'all didn't care about him before.
And the only one who's been threatened really is James Vanderbeek.
Well, no, Billy Bob.
Yeah, but he had been treated badly.
And the scene where Billy Bob is threatening to kill himself because he has a pig named Bacon that he calls a dog that mysteriously shows up at James Vanderbeek's house. And his little brother's like, Billy Bob says, you know how to take care of Bacon, right? And then they have a very that is actually one of the more emotional scenes of the film.
That's right. I forgot to mention that Billy Bob has suicidal ideations and a plan after John Voight.
Because we learned John Voight basically became a surrogate, gaslit this big kid into thinking he was a surrogate dad.
This big kid.
What? Because
I mean, his main character trait is that he's big as hell.
Yes, and he
but he's really not that big.
That is also a trope.
I mean, I can name 6 RuPaul's Drag Race queens bigger than Billy Bob.
Sure, yeah, but I mean that's a trope of these films too. Like Remember the Titans, also. But this kid has felt betrayed, and his emotional core is based exclusively on how this shitty ass man has made him feel, and now has taken away that regard. He's taken away this person's meaning.
Sure.
So that tracks as the maturity level of a kid that age, even though I believe Mr. Lester, I think, was like 28 or something at the time. But so that, I think, is at the turning point when Varsity Blues starts to kick it up a notch.
For sure. But I still think that this coup forming,
it's too convenient. In
like the second half of the final game and the third act of the film, it does feel super convenient. But they all stand up against John Voight and they tell him, we'll play, but you need to leave. You need to leave. So we see John Voight walk away. And then, like you said, James Vanderbeek becomes a leader. And of course they win the game. And the winning touchdown is dropped by, or is, I don't know the term, landed or
in the end zone.
Billy Bob secures the final touchdown because someone fumbles the ball or gets tackled. They toss the ball to Billy Bob, and he, of course, can run through anyone.
Yes.
Did you notice that at the end when they won, everyone runs onto the field and they're picking up all the players, and no one picked up Billy Bob? He's the reason they won. They were like, we can't pick his, but we don't have a forklift on hand to pick him up.
Oh, also, did you notice young Jesse Plemons?
What?
Was in this?
What?
He's just like briefly on screen, but that's like Jesse Plemons
I did
as a
not
child.
notice. I did not notice. So he must have been at that barbecue scene. Okay. I will say the ending, most sports movies get you with the final game, match, bout, whatever. And then it's like, yeah, they did it. The underdog won. This film is not giving that. There is no underdog.
No.
The protagonist, we learn halfway through, already has a plan A that's successful, right? Like he's going to Brown on academic scholarship. He doesn't care about football. The stakes for everyone else are so low by the time we get to the final game that when they actually win, because I cry very easily at movies like this where like the underdog wins. I didn't feel a thing when this game was over.
No, didn't either. And produced by MTV, I believe, also. Yeah, it was bringing me back to very specific memories from this period. But I mean, this isn't a film my parents would have been interested in watching at all, which also helps in why we never rented it per se.
But the themes of like small town pressure, how football defines like the identity of this small town, it qualifies success. And I think there's a lot how it defines masculinity.
Yes, but it's also a film that I don't think is being quite honest about everything that's going on in this mostly white community either. I think that it tries to throw us a bone with Wendell.
Sure. I don't think it was trying to do that because it's giving like 90s teen movie energy. So, I mean, to be fair, none of those movies were really doing that.
They were all whitewashed.
Right. So I feel like for what it's trying to do, I think it is successful in trying to present that theme. I think obviously like toxic coaching culture. John Voight is very good.
He is. Okay. I did say the adults are caricatures, but John Voight seems like this. Also is a very similar role in Holes shortly after this.
I don't want to dig any more holes.
That's too damn bad. That's not him saying that.
I know.
Anyway.
It's the grandpa. But, and then like escaping this cycle that he's in, I don't think the film does the best job of that, because really it's only James Van Der Beek, and it's in voiceover at the end that he goes, and I went on to graduate from Brown with an academic scholarship.
But also realizing what's the difference between what your own dreams are and figuring that out versus whatever is being plied on you by your parents.
Oh.
Because I think that's to me, that's what this is about. Both Paul Walker and James Van Der Beek's characters, I mean, they're pitted against each other as rivals because of their fathers.
Huh.
No?
Yeah. Some fun facts I saw. Originally, Paul Walker was supposed to play Mox, and then was ultimately...
Well, he wasn't quite... this was before Fast and Furious. This was Joyride.
Also, James was more popular.
I think because of Dawson's Creek, this was seen as a bigger bet.
Studio executives almost cut the whipped cream scene because they weren't sure if they could push it that far.
Oh, you know what else that reminded me of? Which reminds me, I wanted to rewatch this forever. And I remember reading the book. It made me scared / excited to go to college. It was Rules of Attraction with James Van Der Beek. Is a very different kind of character. And Jessica Biel plays a similar-ish role to the Ali Larter character here.
Oh. You already mentioned the soundtrack, but it has Green Day, Third Eye Blind, Foo Fighters, Collective Soul, and then, of course, Aaliyah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's peak TRL.
Yes, it is.
Core, as the people say.
I wanted to bring up on my plane home, I watched a very big football movie that came out this very same year that I'd never seen before, Oliver Stone's Any Given Sunday.
Oh, with who's the... Lela Rochon.
Lela Rochon, she's Jamie Foxx's girlfriend in that.
Because who directed it again?
Oliver Stone.
Yeah, I listened to an interview with Lela Rochon, and she was talking a lot about how that movie was such a big deal for her, and like
that's after Why Do Fools Fall in Love. Anyway, Jamie Foxx is really good in it, and I kind of Pacino, who for the past 30 years has just been accused of shouting, and there's a lot of shouting in this. I actually really liked the scenes with Pacino and Cameron Diaz screaming at each other.
I kind of want to watch that movie after listening to her talk about it.
And I was shocked.
Did you like it?
I did. I was shocked at how much I liked Cameron Diaz. Jamie Foxx, I think that's one of his best performances, really. But there's a very similar structure about Dennis Quaid is this quarterback who's injured. And so Jamie Foxx is this up-and-comer who hasn't really become an actual team player. He's butting heads with LL Cool J every other scene.
Oh, LL Cool J's in it?
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have as much to do, but I think he's kind of fun. But that's a very similar structure, is this dark horse, if you will, kind of becomes the hero of everything. But also the thing with James Woods is this doctor that's kind of fudging medical reports so that these players can keep playing, and Matthew Modine kind of exposing him. But Bill Bellamy and God, who else is in it? Jim Brown. I love Jim Brown. Anne Margaret, Lauren Holly's a bitch in it. Got Aaron Eckhart. Elizabeth Berkley is this hoe that is hitting up Pacino all the time, which is really uncomfortable. Terrell Owens. Yeah, it's got a great cast. I think when it came out at that time, there was a personal thing on my front as a young gay kid. Like, football made me feel alienated, so I think I avoided all those things. But I actually think Any Given Sunday, that's one of Stone's better films. I think I was surprised at how much I liked it. But it also is directly addressing the racial dynamics in this time in this sport. Like, Jamie Foxx has moments where he's directly addressing that, and the mayor of Miami that is kind of colluding with Cameron Diaz, who's inherited this team. I think they're called the Miami Sharks from her dead father. Anyway, there's a lot more at stake and more balanced in a way that I found more compelling.
Well, I mean, from what you're describing and who made it and who's in it, yeah. I mean, I think Varsity Blues is meant for the MTV crowd.
Teeny boppers, yeah.
It's currently rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. It was not well received when it came out. I would not say it's rotten. I would say it's fresh. What would you give? What would you give Varsity Blues?
I'm giving it 2.
I liked it. I would give it 3 out of 5.
Oh my God. Okay.
Well, because for what it is, like, it's not an Oliver Stone picture. It's not a Spike Lee joint. Like, when I was reading people's complaints of it, it's too melodramatic, but this feels like what I remember
Teenage
from late
Wasteland.
90s, like the nighttime teen shows were like.
Sure. And I will say,
I think it looks good. The soundtrack's good.
I did like James Van Der Beek.
And I did like him. I like Paul Walker.
Yeah. John Voight as a person is shitty, but he does a good job.
Ali Larder is, she made me uncomfortable.
I mean, she was trying to make her name, and she played a lot of people like that.
All right. What do we have coming this week? I know there's probably a lot to do.
Scream 7.
Oh, that's the main thing.
The main thing. There's something else, I think. At least one other title I think we're covering, but I don't know it off the top of my head. With Wanda Sykes.
Oh, yeah. Her in a dramatic role.
Her first dramatic role in Undercard.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Ta-ta.